Live from the Man Cave, treadmills and tangents with Coach Aaron Cerrone and his army of wellness warriors. Live in discussion of all things health and wellness, along with community topics they happen to stumble upon.
Good morning, Omaha. Coach Aaron coming at you again with another edition of Treadmills and Tangents this fine Saturday morning. I'm here with my wellness warriors. Timmy, what's up?
Not much. Good morning, guys.
Sam's joining us again.
Hey, guys. Good morning.
And we brought Cam along today.
Morning, guys.
Good. Cam's happy. Cam's our spirit guide on this journey. Cam brings the heat every morning, right, Cam?
Yes, sir.
So if we hear some obnoxious loud and shouting, that's probably Cam in the background. Guys, I'm excited. I bought myself a toy this weekend. I got myself a glucose monitor, a glucose meter.
Ooh.
Exciting. It's exciting stuff. It's like I was a kid on Christmas Day.
How many times have you tested so far?
Too many. I'm fascinated by blood sugar right now because I got this little meter. Right, I just went to Walgreens. You can pick it up for like $60 with all the accoutrement. You just prick your finger and then test your blood. And I'm fascinated by what food does to you. Just before, after, what my blood sugars are after a night of fasting, and it's really cool. And what really got me interested was somebody in the gym was talking about doing a potato diet, and I'm like, what the heck is a potato diet?
Interesting.
Yeah, and literally was just eating potatoes. But getting into the conversation, it was more about called restrictive starches. There's a lot of research going on. There are certain types of foods, starches in particular, that in an uncooked state, they're very fibrous. Growing up, I was always told, don't eat raw potatoes. You can't digest them. I wasn't told why. I was like, okay, just don't eat raw potatoes. You can't digest them. Well, it turns out that when you cook a potato, it breaks down to fiber, turns into starch, and now your body can actually use it, the carbohydrates. What they're finding out is after you cook a potato, for example, and then let it cool, it now takes back some of its fibrous properties, so it doesn't have as much of an effect on your blood sugar as a hot baked potato would. So I was kind of calling BS on this because that sounds that sounds sketchy. That's
some real scientific stuff right there.
Well, it's like healthy ice cream. Like, come on, come on.
Hey,
healthy ice cream don't exist.
Healthy ice cream.
It's a whole ploy of like, oh, frozen yogurt's so much better for you. Like a pound of sugar is a pound of sugar.
But if it tastes good,
so that's your reasoning.
I don't eat it.
So it's good for you.
Well, usually if it tastes bad, it's healthy for you, right?
Fair.
But ice cream, since it tastes good, it can't be healthy for you, and it generally isn't anyway. But anyway, I digress. I was like, I'm going to test this on myself, so I went and got a blood glucose meter. And so what I did was I fasted for 12 hours, checked my levels, and then ate a baked potato, and then checked it an hour later. And then the next day, I fasted for 12 hours, checked my blood levels, ate a cold baked potato, and then checked my blood sugars an hour later. And what happened was when I ate the hot baked potato, my blood sugar levels jumped 30 points in an hour. When I ate the cold baked potato, it only jumped 10.
Wow.
So firsthand knowledge. And Amanda, one of our students over at Mid-American Martial Arts, she tested it as well and got the similar results as well. So there is something to it. If you, now I don't know if that works for like French fries. I do kind of want to test French fries now.
Let's test it.
I was just going to say, cold French fries?
I'm going to order some McDonald's and eat them hot, check my levels, and then eat leftovers the next day and check my levels and see if that's actually valid. We should try that. Now, if you really want to do this study the right way, you should, check the temperature of the potato, make sure, they're both 150 degrees, they're both the same. I didn't weigh them out. I just kind of eyeballed the size of the potato because that will have an effect if you eat a big baked potato. They're both relatively the same size, small potatoes. But, restrictive starches, it's worth looking into that if you eat a starch after it's been cooled, it has less of an effect on your blood sugar. But I was amazed, the first couple mornings, my blood sugar was like 110, which is considered high, and it was really annoying me. And there's this thing called dawn phenomena where your blood sugars are naturally higher in the mornings because your body's trying to get going, right? So you really don't need to eat a big carb loaded. You don't need all the maple syrup in the morning. Right, Tim?
Absolutely.
Tim's relevant. It's good though.
Yeah, I don't usually eat breakfast.
Well, you don't usually eat maple syrup. There's other things going on with the maple syrup.
That's that's another show.
But it's your dog. Anyway, so I want to test this with rice. I want to test this with other things and just see what's the validity to it. And it's just interesting to see what foods do in your body. Things that we think are healthy maybe aren't. Maybe they're affecting your blood sugars in strange ways. I was really annoyed that my blood sugar was so high in the morning. So one night, all I ate was some fish, and then I ate and I drank some apple cider vinegar because that's been shown to lower your blood sugars as well. And the next morning, the last few mornings, my blood sugar was around 105 or so, and then the morning I did that, it was down around 90.
Wow.
Between 85 and 90. So, yeah, there's something to it. Anyway, so speaking of blood sugar, there's some things that you can do to lower your blood sugar. Right, one of them is eat cinnamon. Did you guys know there are 3 kinds of cinnamon?
I did not.
Ground cinnamon, cinnamon sticks.
That's a form of cinnamon. Shaved cinnamon. Can you shave cinnamon? I'm sure you could shave cinnamon. What would you do with shaved cinnamon?
Put it on top of your McFlurry.
Your
It comes off the bark of a tree, doesn't it?
Shaved cinnamon?
There's cinnamon, period.
I don't know. That's something I need to look into.
Look up.
Well, there's Saigon cinnamon, which is the most expensive and the least sweet. So I don't know why you would buy that. The most expensive and the least tasting.
Yeah,
they probably use it for cooking, I would
Is
imagine.
that a double negative?
Most expensive and least sweet.
Yeah, I don't like it.
That's I don't like it.
Not a fan.
That is
Next.
sketchy. Let's avoid it.
Right.
Cassia or Acacia cinnamon. It's less sweet than Cylon. Cylon? Wasn't that? Weren't Cylons the bad guys on Battlestar Galactica?
Yes, they were.
They have a cinnamon named after them. Or were they named after the cinnamon?
Either way, they're both bad.
They're both, well,
both bad.
Cylon cinnamon's the sweetest. That's probably what we're all used to eating, more than likely. Anyway, as far as their effect on blood sugar, they're all the same. So you don't need to buy the most expensive stuff. They all will reduce your blood sugar. They've shown upwards of 29%. How about that? Wow. So
Does it say what kind of serving size for that, or does it just say some intake of
I
cinnamon?
would imagine a dash.
A dash.
A
Conservative dash.
Do you need any more than a dash of cinnamon?
Depends what you're putting it on.
That's true. That's true.
That's true.
So the thing within the active ingredient within cinnamon that is beneficial is cinnamaldehyde. Now that sounds too much like formaldehyde for my liking.
Is it formaldehyde that's flavored like cinnamon?
So if you take formaldehyde and put a dash of cinnamon on top, is it cinnamaldehyde now?
Me and Google
we
are
gotta
gonna be best
start
friends later.
researching
Yeah,
this
That's a Google topic. Oh, it says here, not a dash, a sprinkle. A sprinkle of cinnamon.
It's a little more than that.
So if you put a sprinkle of cinnamon on your favorite protein shake or coffee in the morning, you will then reap the benefits of glucose control.
Good to know.
The other is apple cider vinegar, which we talked about. Reading more about that, there are actual double-blind studies that verify apple cider vinegar, or any vinegar for that matter, does help glucose control. Take 2 tablespoons and a glass of water, drink it before bed.
So did you mix yours with water, or did you take it straight?
No, I mix it with water. You take that stuff straight, it'll bounce your head off.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Fair enough.
That's wicked. You could probably strip paint off a car with that stuff. But yeah, no, it's pretty strong. Just a couple teaspoons in your water is strong.
That's awesome.
That's
recommended to kill warts, too.
Are you kidding me?
No, serious. Apple cider vinegar.
Will kill warts and lower your blood sugar all at the same time.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
This is some kind of nectar, man.
It is the nectar of the gods, apple cider vinegar.
Yeah.
So they recommend before bed.
Well, and then if you take it before a high carb diet, it'll help control your blood glucose levels as well.
Does it
A high carb meal.
change anything with the way your body processes the carbs, or is it just...
There's still research coming out on it. They think it just inhibits your body's uptake of blood sugars. Anyway, so a little bit of apple cider vinegar before bed can go a long way for you.
Mary
Turmeric.
Poppins did not know. She should have done a spoonful of apple cider vinegar instead of a spoonful of sugar.
He went to Mary Poppins with that.
Hey, man,
Maybe she should have
You
done-
never know what's going on in this
She
mind.
should have
Do you
done
even know who
cinnamon
Mary
instead of
Poppins
sugar.
is?
Mary Poppins?
Mary Poppins, y'all. Haven't you seen Guardians of the
The
Galaxy
fact
2? That was one of the best one-liners. And anyway,
So turmeric is another one that will lower your blood sugar, which we had talked about last time, and we're gonna sample a turmeric drink.
We are.
not today or next time. One of these 2 times, we're gonna sample some golden milk. Yeah.
we
golden
are.
milk, yeah.
Yeah.
And then stevia or stevia, however you want to pronounce it. Even though it's a sugar substitute, it's naturally occurring, and it's been shown in studies not to have the same effect as the other fake sugar alternatives. So the other fake sugar alternatives, they've shown that your body's insulin will still react similar to regular sugar and will make you crave more sugar, where they've shown that stevia does not.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Stevia is what, since I went on keto, that is the
It's in my
only
coffee every
the
morning.
only sweetener I use then is stevia.
That's very
Yeah.
popular lately.
So the apple cider vinegar was confirmed in a bunch of studies, one in particular by a Dr. Johnston, Carol Johnston, out of the University of, or Arizona State University. Here's what they showed. Apple cider vinegar, its use as an anti-infective agent was bunk. They proved that wrong. That is not true, even though there's history of people using it as a disinfectant. That is not true. The evidence linking vinegar to reduce risk of hypertension and cancer is equivocal, meaning uncertain or ambiguous. That's kind of like the weather. Okay, so
Especially in
they played weather agent on that one. Yeah. But they did show positive correlation and consistency that it does help reduce blood glucose response and help with diabetes. So there again.
Interesting.
There you have it. So there's a little more to this apple cider vinegar conspiracy than we thought. So who's gonna go out and get a blood glucose meter?
I'm gonna have to.
Yeah,
I'm interested now.
You know, there's all kinds out there. You got the cheap ones for like $12, and you got the $250 ones as well. I don't think you need to get that
The
crazy.
mid-range, like what you got for $60 is probably.
What's
perfect.
expensive is the strips. The little strips you got to shove in there to test. Those get expensive, but you can get them cheaper online. Like always, you can get them cheaper online. But you can get the meters almost anywhere. They do have meters that will not only test blood sugar, but ketones and your A1Cs as well.
I've seen I'm part of a group where a lot of people test their ketones that way to see where they're at. And I think my problem would be addictive, where I would probably want to test it like nonstop to see everything I do, what it does to my body.
Yeah, and well, truth told, the best way to control your blood sugar is to not eat sugar. Novel concept.
Hashtag keto.
Hashtag.
That's a weird concept.
Well, and it just control your carb intake, which, a lot of people, it sneaks up on a lot of people. I had a conversation with somebody today in the gym, and they're like, so tell me about this keto thing, which is, I think is funny, this keto thing. I'm like, just eat a clean diet, man. You don't got to worry about it. He goes, well, but I don't know what that means. I'm like, well, just control your carbs, all the breads, the potatoes, the rices, and, things like that. He goes, well, what about juice? And I'm like, juice is made of fruit, which is made of sugar. He goes, oh man. So, it's just funny. It's not funny, but it's still surprising to me this day that the amount of things that people don't realize how much sugar is in it. Even healthy foods. This yogurt's great. I'm like, the yogurt is, but all the fruit and the junk at the bottom is not. And I have a lot of people who come to me and like, Aaron, I'm eating good and I'm not losing weight. And I'm like, well, write out your diet for me. And all of a sudden I start seeing I had yogurt in the morning, right, with fruit.
Soccer mom diet.
The soccer mom.
No, I mean, if we're gonna call a spade a spade.
You just created a lot of haters for this show
Yes,
right
you
there.
did. Thanks.
Hey, come visit Mid-American Martial Arts and we'll help you out.
To all the soccer moms.
Yeah.
What I meant was,
Yeah.
so you end up seeing, okay, I had juice and yogurt and fruit in the morning. I'm like, okay, sugar. Oh, and then I had a granola bar for a snack. And I go, sugar. And then fruit salad for lunch. Sugar. And I had an apple for a snack in the afternoon. And I went, sugar.
That's a lot
She's
of
like,
sugar.
you might as well just eat 2 Snickers and at least enjoy it.
Right.
Because that's essentially what you ate throughout the
Might
day.
as well have that ice cream.
Oh, it all comes back to ice cream.
Yep.
I do love ice cream.
What's a Halo Top ice cream?
Halo.
I do eat Halo Top. I eat it usually like 3 or 4 teaspoons at a time. I'll just take it out, let it knock out a few bites, and
3
then
or
put it
4
back.
Teaspoons, sure.
I've tried
There's
almost
no
every
way
flavor.
you eat 3 or 4 teaspoons
There's no way.
of anything.
Hey, man. Now, a year ago, in this conversation, you could have called me a liar. Now, I do it in moderation. And it's
First of all, for the record, I call you a liar all the time.
that's true. You do.
Fact.
But I do it in moderation just to everybody knows, like, I got a thing for ice cream, especially if we go out of town. That's like, I'm trying to hunt for the best ice cream place.
Yeah, let it be known that when Tim is 2 area codes away, that he cannot be held accountable for his eating habits.
Yeah.
True. And normally,
especially on the ice cream side.
normally it's ice cream is where,
It is
I
ice cream.
fall off. But yeah, I like Halo Top, and I mean, I think in moderation it's okay, but it still has, obviously sugars and
Sure.
Actually, now they're coming out with some crazy flavors where you really start to like they're getting off the reservation a little bit, in my opinion. But
Anyone else are coming out with those all those different flavors.
yeah.
And then different flavors are gonna have more sugar. So we're gonna-
And that's one of those things where, Halo Top is advertised, and by no means are we throwing a Halo Top under the bus. It is a great alternative, hands down. But a lot of people think, well, it's healthy ice cream. I can eat the whole pint. And you kind of miss the whole point of it, is that it's a better version than regular ice cream in terms of health and the amount of sugars and things in it like that. But it's, like you said, it's still ice cream with sugar in it. So,
Still about moderation.
yeah, and if you're someone trying to cut back and lose weight and lose fat, or you're diabetic trying to control your blood sugar, okay, it's still not an option.
I think what gets people with that is, and it's a genius marketing play on their point, right on the front, it's like 320 calories per pint. And people are like, oh, 320 calories for the whole thing. Like, yeah, but then look at the sugar and the carbs and the rest of the information and the serving size. I think there's like 4 servings of their serving size in there, but so people see that calorie and then they're like, oh, great, and then eat the whole thing.
I can
and
crush
then,
the whole thing.
Right, you've taken in more sugar than you've realized, and some of that stuff gets
with
kind of hidden in there.
anything, though. Anything.
Right. Or the fat-free stuff that's, it's fat-free, but yeah, it's bombarded with sugar because they got to make up the taste somewhere. Yeah.
Yogurt is notorious for that too. That yogurt on the plain yogurt is very good for you. very loaded with probiotics and very good for you. But it's all the flavoring, it's all the fruit in the bottom, and whatever else they decided to throw into. I saw chocolate chip yogurt the other day in the store. I'm like, are you kidding me? In an organic section. I mean, chocolate chip yogurt. I mean, there's not. It sounds kind of gross, actually.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Like, I hate. Do you guys like chocolate chip pancakes?
Yes.
Do you really?
I love them.
I no longer eat chocolate chip pancakes.
Slather butter on them, roll them up.
Slide the butter on them and roll them up.
Talk about throwing some butter on there. Now you're talking my style.
To me, chocolate chip like doesn't belong with a pancake. It's like fruit on a pizza. Like they don't belong.
Oh, like
I don't know. I agree with you with the fruit on the pizza, but
so you don't like pineapple and what do you usually get? Ham and pineapple.
Pineapple and Canadian bacon usually.
Nasty.
I don't like fruit. Like pizza is a savory meal. It shouldn't have fruit and sugar in it.
For the record, if anybody eats pizza and takes the toppings off the crust, do not send Aaron a picture. He's not appreciate seeing a pizza that's been mutilated in such fashion.
That's wrong.
That is mutilation. That's food mutilation.
Yeah, I sent him a picture and I got a very stern response that I better never do that to a pizza again.
Well done, Coach. Well done.
You deface the pizza. Yeah. Like what? Shame on you. You should feel shame for eating the cheese off a pizza and leaving the rest behind.
I put a large T-shirt on today. I did not feel
especially a nice New York style hand tossed pizza. To eat the cheese off of it and leave the rest behind.
It was not that nice of a pizza.
I can't talk to you.
It was a local pizza joint. Nope. It was not
after what you did to it.
Nope.
I'll eat the whole topping and then one slice I will eat the.
Yeah, I do that sometimes, but I mean,
don't justify it.
Yeah.
Wow, these two.
I mean, I'll smell it.
We'll be back right after this. We got Nick Langer coming on the show from Rexius Nutrition to talk about supplements and healthy diets. You're listening to Treadmills and Tangents, 94.5 FM, 1420 AM. And welcome back, everybody, to Treadmills and Tangents. Today we have Nick Langer here with us. Nick, thanks for coming in today.
Yes, sir.
Competitive bodybuilder, competitive powerlifter, gym owner recently. Congrats on the new gym.
Appreciate that.
We'll talk about that here in a second. And manager at Rexius Nutrition. Let's talk about the gym first. You guys just opened up Iron Heaven, north part of town up on 120th.
Yep.
And tell us a little bit, what makes Iron Heaven kind of different than the other box gyms that we're seeing around town?
Definitely. So actually what ended up happening was myself and Tim Rexius, the owner of Rexius Nutrition, we both are competitive bodybuilders. And we kind of got sick of having 3 or 4 different memberships at 3 or 4 different gyms here in town, depending on the body part we had to work that week. You know, him and I came together, and it's been pretty much a lifelong dream for myself to make a gym and to create a gym that was aimed towards those that wanted to train. We had marketed it wrong. We figured this out after we did it, but we had marketed it wrong as a bodybuilding gym. What we really meant by that, and we said a hardcore gym. And what we really meant by that was the hardcore mentality, or what I see as a hardcore mentality. And what that is honestly just wanting to come in and actually get results and actually put in work and not sit on the phone texting. You know, you're there to work. You're there to reach a goal.
Sure, not a lot of rubbernecking.
Right. And I think that's one thing that we saw a lot. And then also having an understanding of gym etiquette, which is pretty much lacking in every gym here in town.
It's kind of the Wild West in a lot of places.
Yes, yeah. So I think, you know, we wanted a place that you could come in and you knew that if you were going to go in and you were going to work out, you weren't going to have somebody coming up and talking to you mid-set. You weren't going to have somebody leading weights on everything. You weren't going to have to clean up after somebody. And so making it that kind of environment. And that's also why we did what we did with the 250 member cap. We made it so that there is a small community, and it's literally aimed towards those that want to reach goals.
But you've been in health and fitness pretty much your entire career. How has being a gym owner now, has it changed your perspective, or has it given you new appreciation for the health and fitness industry?
That's a good question. It's changed my perspective in a few ways. I will say from a gym owner's perspective, I think you start to realize why big box gyms do things the way that they do. I also understand a little more of the ins and outs of a lot of my friends that have owned gyms in the past, their frustrations that they have here or there. Once you go into that full force, I thought when I opened this gym, I thought no matter what, that would be the place that I would train at. No matter what, that would be my spot, my getaway. And you soon to realize, which is not a bad thing, but you soon to realize that everybody that comes into that gym is now a part of your family. And so it's almost hard for you to put yourself into a different alter ego, which is really what I end up doing when I go into and train in the gym. It's a completely different alter ego. And it's hard to keep that mindset when you're surrounded by family all the time.
Sure. And being a gym owner myself, I think what a lot of people forget is that, when you do build a community, it's tough to put that business hat on sometimes. And at the same time, like you said, you think I thought it was a place you were going to train all the time. But as the owner and being there all the time, I would have a membership somewhere else and people would see me as like, why are you working out here? You have your own gym. Well, yeah, you're right. And I don't want to be there all the time. As an owner, you need to change the scenery too once in a while.
Right.
So it's not that I don't think my own gym's good. It's that I don't want to be there all the time. Like you don't want to live and breathe at work all the time.
Right.
And owning a gym is no different.
Yeah, and it's crazy. I thought it would be completely different because every single toy that I could ever imagine, everything that I needed, is in one spot now. And so I thought that would be even more motivating. And it's now getting to the point where our memberships have gotten to a point where we're getting members in there that are now pushing me, which is nice because we're getting guys that are top level athletes. We're getting IFBB pros. We're getting people that are coming in there that push everybody in there to their limits, including myself.
Now, have you seen, obviously everybody goes to the gym for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
You being a bodybuilder, you have your reasons for a gym. Being a gym owner now, are you starting to understand why people are going to the gym more like, hey, not everybody has the same mentality as me. Just like myself in martial arts, nobody is a lifer like I am. People are coming to me for various reasons. Mm-hmm. Are you seeing that with your own members?
Yeah, I'm seeing it a ton. It's cool. Some of the conversations that I'm having, and that's why I said we marketed this wrong, is because now a lot of the members that we're getting are people that are just serious about working out, but they don't have like, oh, I want to do a bodybuilding show or I want to do a powerlifting meet. They're coming in, they're like, I just want to be around for my kids. Like, I want to be healthy for my kids for the future. If I can put some more weight on, or if I can put some more muscle on in that process, great. If I can lose some body fat, great. And I know that this gym and this community is filled with people that are knowledgeable, that if I ask questions, I'm gonna get those answers.
Sure. And speaking of questions, obviously being a manager at Rexius Nutrition, being involved in the supplement industry, being a competitive bodybuilder and a bigger guy, I'm sure a lot of people just can look at you and quickly stereotype just a big muscle head. All he does is drink protein shakes all day and pop pills, and that's how he got the way it is. But you're the first to advocate. You're real quick to say whole foods before anything, and supplements are just that. They're supplements, not replacements. Can you give people some perspective? Being a professional in the supplement industry, the role supplements really should play in your lifestyle.
Yeah, and honestly, it's in the word itself. It's supplemental. Too many people focus on taking this pill to hit this goal, or this drink is going to make it happen this much faster, when in all reality, it's supplementing the deficiencies in your diet, supplementing what you're not getting through the food that you're supposed to be eating throughout the day. So, for example, I have plenty of clients that are either construction workers or they're business people that literally can't sit down and eat a meal. Okay, well, that's where a protein shake comes into play. Or I have people that don't like eating fish or don't like eating essential fatty acid sources from their whole foods. So we supplement in omegas or CLA or something like that to help out with getting those essential fatty acids. Again, and that's the reason why actually I had come on board with Rexius Nutrition, because I had been with a couple different companies in the past. And a lot of them were about push supplements down people's face.
Make the sale.
Whereas when I came to Rexius, it was much more of an idea of, listen, talk to the people, find out what they need, fill that need. And if they buy more than one thing, great. If they only buy one thing, that's what we care about.
Which I've always appreciated about you guys, the honesty. You had done a post just prior to one of your competitions. You did a pre-competition photo, and you made the comment, Whole Foods, no powders, legit real deal. And I thought, how awesome is that this guy that sells supplements will basically say, I did this with no supplements. But it's just the honesty in that if you get your diet squared away, you need very few supplements or the right supplements. And you guys are real quick to, every time I've come in here, I'll ask about different products. I'll say, what about this? What about that? And you'll be quick to say, oh, I don't like that one, or I like this one. Mm-hmm. Or someone else up front will be like, I don't like that one, but Nick likes that one.
Yep.
And you guys just give your honest opinion. Like, I don't personally like it, but if you're going to take it, here's what it'll do for you, or here's why I think you should use this one.
And that's actually the coolest part about us here at Rexius Nutrition is the fact that we don't have a house brand, which is, I think, a big difference from a lot of other places. All of our employees like what they like. And so you're going to come in, and if you see somebody else besides myself, you're never really going to get steered wrong because you're getting all good products no matter how you look at it. Personal opinion as to what the best one is per that person. That individuality is kind of cool, actually kind of sets us apart a little bit. And it also makes it, again, a very much more customer-friendly atmosphere because we can just be like, well, this is what I like. I mean, you can give it a shot here. Even if you want to, I can give you a sample of it. Try it out. Let me know what you think.
Now, how hard is it for you guys? Someone brand new walks into the store and you see them looking around, I want this or I want that. I mean, it's got to be hard for the first time, not knowing anybody, not knowing what they're training and what their diet's currently like, to even recommend anything. So how do you guys go about, first, someone coming in for the first time, just steering them in the right direction?
Yeah, and again, that's questions. So somebody comes in the door, first thing that I'm going to ever do is I'm going to introduce myself. And then the second thing I'm going to say is, what brings you in today? And they're going to tell me weight loss. Okay, well, that's a very broad term. So my biggest thing that I start with is, again, okay, well, let me know what you're doing for your nutrition. Give me an idea of what you're doing for your nutrition. Give me an idea of what you're doing for your workouts. So majority of the time, it is a consultation. They come in, they're getting a 30-minute talk, and it's trying to figure out what they actually need. I had an example of that yesterday. I had a kid that's a 22-year-old kid that came in, and he's like, oh, I came in for a test booster. I'm like, okay, well, why do you want a test booster? And he's like, well, I'm just trying to get more recovery. You know, I'm lifting heavy, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, what made you think you need a test booster? You know, why didn't you think of something else like creatine? Or why didn't you think of something like an amino acid or carbohydrates or anything that can help out from a nutrition standpoint?
And for those of you listening, by test booster, he means a testosterone booster, which no 22-year-old should even be looking at.
Correct.
You got plenty of testosterone in your body
Correct.
at that point.
And that's the reason why I asked him. I'm like, it doesn't make sense to me, you know, why you would need a natural testosterone booster unless, you know, you went to your doctor and for some reason he said you had low T, which at 22, I don't think that's even possible, but it's possible. So I asked him and he said, well, I just thought that's what I needed. You know, the conversation went on and, you know, I said, well, have you ever done creatine? There are thousands upon thousands of research articles out there about the benefits of creatine and helping out with increasing ATP production while also helping out with recovery. You know, have you ever done that? And he's like, well, no, I haven't. Okay, well, go ahead and do that. And the cool thing about this is this. The testosterone, the natural testosterone boosters that we have range from $40 to $70. The creatine, $15. It doesn't bother me because the thing is, I know he's going to get more benefit out of the creatine. He's going to come back to us and he's going to ask us, well, what else can help me reach my next goal?
You'd rather avoid the big sale, but give them something that they can use.
Always.
Because then you know that they'll be back. So let me ask you this. How do you guys fight? And obviously, I'm guessing that particular individual came in because somebody in the gym told him something. Mm-hmm. How do you fight the bro science? How do you fight, you know, yo, dude, you got to get on this, and this is why I'm jacked, other than no science behind it, or there's a lot of misinformation on the internet about supplements because it is an unregulated industry. As controversial as nutrition in itself is, supplements are even worse.
Yes.
So how do you guys fight the bro science that comes in the door?
Yeah, and the way that we do that is we have very educated individuals in our stores. So they might have some big dude or whatever at the gym being like, oh, you should take this and this. Or everybody that comes into our stores understands when they meet us, we all have that knowledge as well. The cool thing is, and the way that we actually combat those ideas is just raw information. Why did that guy tell you that? Well, he said that's what got him big. Okay. Did you hear anything about his workouts? Have you heard anything about his nutrition? You know, what is going on there? The other aspect that I take into play is I understand that, but you also have to understand you are an individual that is not the same as that person. And everything is completely different per person as to what you need to make your body reach a certain goal.
So what happens when somebody comes in and, like you said, says, hey, I've been taking this, and you just want to cringe, like, oh my gosh. You know, what type of honest feedback do you give them? You know, they're taking a supplement and you're just like, wow, I wouldn't recommend that to anybody.
That's a hard one because it happens more often than most people probably think. You know, when it comes to that, I think I kind of go in the same approach that I do with anybody that comes into me. Let's take, for example, I'll have somebody that asks questions about something they got off the internet. And it might be a banned substance of some sort that they got off the internet that helps out with increasing lean muscle tissue. My question to them is, number one is, what made you decide to go in that route in the first place? And then also, if you're going that route, are you doing anything to take care of your body for what you're putting your body through? Like, let me educate you on what you're doing. So that way you're not just thinking about the end product and you're thinking about what's going on to your body while you're taking that.
Sure, let me better understand the process of the substance you're putting in.
Correct.
And the potential side effects
Correct.
as well, which I think, like you said, people see they just look at the end results. Like, even in weight loss, where do I want to be? I'll do anything to get there. Meanwhile, they're doing more damage on the journey to get there than what the end result's going to give them.
We're in such a I want the results now society that people don't think about that. I'm not here to make you feel dumb for what you did or what you're using. I just want you to understand what you're putting your body through. So just educating, that's going to be the easiest thing when somebody comes in the door. And I've got like a cringe when somebody tells me about something. Okay, well, are you fully educated on what you're taking? And if you are fully educated, maybe we should have a talk about why you're taking that in the first place.
Sure.
And then again, that'll resort back to what are you doing for your workouts? What are you doing for your nutrition? Because most of the time when it comes to somebody coming in here and using whatever substance or whatnot that they've got, it's because they're lacking or don't know the knowledge in the nutrition or the training aspects. And so they're trying to overdo it with a supplement to bridge that gap.
A lot of our listeners have kids, have grandkids. Like you said, we're in a society of we need results now. And for kids in high school, there's a lot of pressure to get that scholarship, perform. So there's studies that show that the majority of steroid users are actually high school kids just trying to get ahead. There's a lot of high school kids buying supplements, buying stuff they shouldn't put in your body. Like I said, the testosterone boosters, the pro hormones. What are your advice to parents and grandparents that if their kid is going to take something, what are some safe things they could be taking outside of preaching a sound diet?
When it comes to that, there are main things that I tell for a high schooler that come into me when I come to the store. So my biggest thing is probably one of the easiest and safest things on the market is, again, creatine. Creatine has the most research behind it. As long as the individual stays hydrated, they will be completely fine. That's going to help out a ton with building lean muscle tissue, muscle recovery, increasing power. So that's one of the easiest things, especially for a high school student, to be on.
Creatine's found naturally in red meat, but the amount of red meat you would have to eat
is insane.
Literally tens of pounds a day to get the equivalent of one scoopful.
Right. Supplementing that in is going to be one of the biggest things. And then basically the only other stuff that I recommend to a high schooler is stuff that's going to fill gaps as far as nutrition. Amino acids for during their workout. Basically, protein is broken down into the amino acids. So you're just getting a direct source of amino acid during your workout to help out with muscle recovery, muscle building. A carbohydrate powder, again, calories, just aimed at getting more carbohydrates into the system. That's something that they, again, can drink while they're in the gym working out or lifting.
Which something simple as a Gatorade can fill that gap
Correct.
as well.
And the only difference is that a lot of the carb powders that we have might have different types of carbs in there that'll have different absorption rates. So that's the only difference. Instead of just being a straight sugar, it's going to be a couple different types of carbohydrates that might elongate distribution in your body throughout the time of the workout. It's really the biggest difference. Aside from that, maybe a weight gainer. I know one of the biggest issues that we have with a lot of high school kids is they just can't get enough food in. They're going from, they've got practice early in the morning, then they've got school all day long, then they got practice again at night. They might get a school lunch. They'll get a breakfast if they're lucky before they leave the house in the morning. They're burning a couple thousand calories a day. So in order to put weight on, they might need to supplement in 1,000 or 1,500 calories with a gainer. It's not always one of those things where I'm going to suggest that straight off the bat, because I completely agree that whole foods should be the way that you do it. But at the same time, it's also one of those things where I understand convenience. I understand that you don't always have that time to slam 1,500 calories in between practices or at school. So a shake that you can throw into a jug, boom, easy, done, and that's it.
And each one of those relatively safe. I mean, not relatively safe, really safe. There's been no side effects shown in all the research. I remember when creatine first came out, I was in college. It was actually phosphagen.
Yep.
That came out, and everybody was taking it like it was, they thought it was the magic pill at the time, and taking it not even understanding what it was, and they knew they were getting results, and then sure enough, as research caught up with it, it was the real deal.
Yep.
And lots of benefits as well. What about glutamine? You mentioned amino acids. Glutamine is an amino acid, but it's generally considered the king of the amino acids.
Right.
What about glutamine for a young kid?
Glutamine is one of those ones that has contradicting research out there right now. But what I will say is as an amino acid, it's basically the one that most people know as a healing amino acid. It helps out with muscle recovery. Implementing higher amounts of glutamine around your workout will help out with muscle recovery. Most of the time when you buy an amino acid, it'll have glutamine in there. You can buy glutamine by itself to actually increase the amount of glutamine that you take in. And again, that's going to help out with muscle recovery. So again, another safe option. It's just an amino acid. It's something that's easily processed by your body. It's something that utilized by your body that won't cause any issues either.
Well, hey, Nick, that's about all the time we have. I appreciate the time today. Guys, go check out his gym, Iron Heaven, up on 120th.
Between Maple and Blondo.
Between Maple and Blondo. It's up there. And then any one of the Rexius nutrition stores are all over the place at this point, but you're generally at the 120th and Center.
Yeah, I'm here most of the time. I also do all of the brand development, and then I also do all of the franchising, so I'm all over the place. But yeah, most of the time I'm here at the 120.
And check out Nick's YouTube, Rhino Reviews,
Yes.
where he takes supplements each week and gives an honest review of them and what they have in the store. And again, from my experience, these guys are great. They don't peddle junk, and they don't try to sell you just to sell you. They'll give you a good, honest consultation and get you the things you need, and then get you on your way to better health and fitness. Nick, thanks again, buddy.
Thank you.
You're listening to Treadmills and Tangents on 94.5 FM, 1420 AM, The Answer. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Treadmills and Tangents, your health and wellness show every Saturday morning right here on The Answer. All right, fellas, time for Nutrition Jeopardy.
Oh, boy.
Do. That was my best impression of Nutrition
Better
Jeopardy.
than what I could have done.
Here are your categories: food groups, vitamins and minerals, herbs and spices, ethnic foods, diet and disease. So mark those off as you call them out. So it's going to be Cam versus Sam versus Tim. One of you guys keep score. And Cam, you select the first category.
Okay, let's go herbs and spices for 100.
Herbs and spices for 100. This herb has a reputation for causing bad breath.
Garlic.
Incorrect answer.
Oh,
Must be worded in form of a question.
what is garlic?
No, you already answered. You don't get to go again.
Come on.
Anybody else?
Ring-a-ling-a-lario.
Ring-a-ling-a-lario. Tim?
What is garlic?
What is garlic? Correct answer.
Yeah.
Correct answer. You get to choose. Next category.
Let's go with ethnic foods for 500.
Ethnic foods. Oh, 500. We're going big dog right. This is the favorite fast food of North Americans.
Is it a chain restaurant, or is you talking about food in general?
This is a favorite fast food of North Americans.
Ring-a-ling-a-lario. What is
Tim.
chicken nuggets?
Incorrect answer.
What is cheeseburger?
I'll give it to you. What is a hamburger? Did you say what is cheeseburger?
What is a cheeseburger?
What is a cheeseburger?
Correct.
Good.
All right, you take the next category.
Cam, next category.
I'm going to bomb here.
Let's go diet and disease for 100.
Diet and disease for 100. The blood sugar levels are controlled with diet or insulin in this disease.
What
Cam.
is diabetes?
Correct. What is diabetes?
What is diabetes?
Diabetes.
It's a great commercial.
Select the category.
Diet and disease for 200.
Oh, he's on a roll. Diet and disease for 200. If your body cannot digest this sugar in milk, you have this intolerance. Oh, Tim.
What is lactose? Lactate?
Correct. What is lactose? Lactating is not
I meant
the same thing.
I'm going to go with ethnic foods for 400.
Ethnic foods for 400. Stuff this dumpling with potatoes, cheese, or onion and serve it hot with sour cream.
Repeat, please.
You don't get a repeat, please.
Come on now.
It's Jeopardy.
I said please.
Well, we don't
Stuff
have
this dumpling with potatoes, cheese, or onion and serve it hot with sour cream. This is an East Coast delicacy. You guys won't get it. The answer is, what are pierogies?
You'd never heard of
Pierogies are fabulous, by the way. Pierogies are, they're little potato dumplings. You deep fry them and put some salt on them. Oh, they're wonderful.
I
Anyway,
feel like that's something we might need to try.
Tim.
Yeah.
Oh, Cam, that was your category.
ethnic foods for 300.
Ethnic foods for 300. Refry beans wrapped in this corn blanket for a complete meal.
What is a tortilla?
Correct answer. What is a tortilla? Tim with the correct answer.
Woohoo!
Pick
I'm
a
going to
category.
go food groups for 500.
Food groups for 500.
I used to be
Okay.
a big boy.
Pop, candy, and chips are part of this food group.
What is other?
How did you know that?
Starches.
That's the answer. What is
really?
I don't
other?
want to talk about it.
How did you know that?
I used to walk around at a hefty 360 pounds.
So you lived in the other food group?
Yeah, the food pyramid was more like
Spent a lot of time.
Tim's
I cut it
House
into,
of Cards.
I cut it into just other.
I can't believe you knew that. Kudos, man.
Yeah, let's go with vitamins and minerals for 500.
We go right from pop and candy to vitamins and minerals. Okay, for 500.
Yeah, that's big.
This
dog.
is a component of bone along with phosphorus and magnesium.
What is marrow?
Incorrect answer.
Dang,
Think about this.
I didn't listen to the question.
This is a I didn't. Calcium. What is calcium? Calcium makes strong bones. Come on, fellas.
Vitamins and minerals for 400.
Vitamins and minerals for 400. Adding this mineral to water is believed to provide protection for children's teeth.
What is fluoride?
Correct answer. What is fluoride? You guys were scaring me for a
Oh,
second
my
there.
dad's got this huge water softener system in his house, about $7,000 worth. So
And that is relevant to
that's
this
I know
question.
all about
How?
all this crap.
Oh. All right. Cam's dad has a big water softener. Okay. Next category,
Filtration
please.
system. Vitamins and minerals for 300.
Vitamins and minerals for 300. This vitamin was missing in the sailor's diet. It would cause scurvy. Come on.
I'll just guess. What is vitamin C?
Correct. What is vitamin C? What is vitamin C? Vitamin C is always the answer.
It sure is.
Next category.
Vitamins and minerals for 200.
Vitamins and minerals for 200. Spinach and liver provide a good source of this mineral.
What is iron?
Correct answer, Tim. Sam has not answered
Not one.
anything.
I told you I was gonna bomb at this.
Let's
Where
try
do
to
you
help
work?
Sam out.
Don't.
We're gonna go with food groups for 100.
Visit Sam in the organic section of your nearest Hy-Vee.
Food groups for 100.
Food groups for 100. This food group has bread, rice, and pasta products in it that provide you energy.
What is
Yes.
starches?
Incorrect answer.
What are carbohydrates?
That's what they are. That is not the food group.
No, that's the food group. You were wrong.
It is the grains group. The grains group, Mr. Other Pyramid guy.
Hey, I got the 500 one right. I don't
Okay.
gotta get them all. Diet and disease for 500.
Diet and disease for 500. This is the component of the diet which you do not digest and can prevent cancer. This is the component of your diet which you cannot digest. It can help prevent cancer. You should always eat things that are high in...
What are fats?
Incorrect answer.
What is vitamin D?
Fiber, fellas. Fiber. You can't digest fiber. Eat a
Are
diet
you gonna
high
answer
in
a question
fiber.
where you're-
Probably
Sam,
not.
Sam
I
set
always
this
see
up.
the term soluble fiber.
Correct. Are you asking what it is?
Yes.
You just threw that out like a statement.
Yeah. It was leading
Again,
to a question.
Cam is our spirit guide. So soluble and insoluble fiber, whether it's soluble in water or not soluble in water. Digest
Okay.
it, not digest it.
I always took it as.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Whether you can
process.
digest it or not digest it.
Gotcha.
Okay, next category.
Go ahead, pick him.
Diet and disease for 400. Let's learn.
Okay, eating more fruit, vegetables, and whole grains, eating less processed meats can prevent this disease.
What is type 2 diabetes?
Incorrect answer.
What is type 1 diabetes?
Even more incorrect answer.
What is being fat?
What is cancer? What is cancer?
Yeah, I did.
I almost want to quit this game. You guys are terrible. Absolutely terrible.
I got the fluoride one.
I mean, that's true. He did get the fluoride.
He
one.
did get the fluoride one
And the
because he's got a big
vitamin C.
water.
At least they got for everything. At least they got an answer.
Oh, the food truck is here. All right, folks, it's time for the food truck. Today, the food truck is bringing us Real Good Pizza Company, who make a variety of pizzas and enchiladas that are on the healthy side of things. So what are we handing out first?
Well, we got the pizzas right now. It looks like a pepperoni.
We have a pepperoni pizza and
Is it a supreme?
it is a supreme. So if you haven't had a real good pizza, they boast 25 grams of protein and only 4 grams of carbs. The crust on these pizzas is made of chicken and Parmesan cheese. And then the toppings are just your normal toppings that you would find on any other pizza. As far as what is on this? Tomato sauce, pizza cheese. I'm trying the supreme.
I got the pepperoni. That's good.
It is good. Now we made these in a toaster oven. I'd imagine that if you made them in a microwave, they would be kind of rubbery like any other microwave pizza. So, but good, gluten-free, grain-free, guilt-free.
The crust
4 total grams of carbs. Yeah, it is
being-
pretty
what
good
is it,
crust.
chicken?
It's chicken and Parmesan.
Yeah.
That's good.
So it's not crunchy like a bread crust. It's never going to be. I mean, microwave pizzas, as far as go, these are good. So 16 grams of fat, 9 grams of saturated fat, and only 4 grams of carbs. So if you're a keto person, this is right up your alley. 25 grams of protein. Now the bigger pizza has 2 servings, so it's 50 grams of protein, 8 grams of carbs. So that's a lot of protein for a sitting, to be quite honest.
good.
The smaller one, I mean, they're about the size of my hand, the smaller ones, maybe a little bit smaller. But it's perfect for a grab-and-go lunch, I would say.
Yeah, agreed.
You guys like the supreme or the pepperoni better?
The pepperoni.
I went straight for the pepperoni.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't even-
think they're both really good. I think that comes down to just a little bit of preference on what you prefer for toppings wise.
Yeah.
They both tasted great.
It's real deal pepperoni and sausage and toppings on it, so it's just a different way of looking at the crust. Kind of, any guys ever had the cauliflower crust pizza?
Not yet, no.
I've not tried it. I know people have
Yeah,
tried it.
I
You
have.
have tried it?
Yeah, I
What do you
tried-
think of that?
It was actually pretty good. My wife, who is not on keto, kind of eats more of a normal people way of
Is she a picky eater or a pretty open-minded eater?
Open-minded minus seafood, so I got the cauliflower.
Open-minded minus. I was like, I like music except rap.
I got the cauliflower crust. So I got a pre-made one that came with some corn flour, and so it had a little bit more carbs than I had hoped, but it was pretty good. You cooked it first and then threw the toppings on, and it tasted good. It was like a quote-unquote real crust, so it was a little bit crispier.
So it gets crispy? Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
a little bit crispier than this, but it tasted good.
Yeah, Sam, you guys sell the cauliflower crust up at Hy-Vee, right?
Yeah. Yes, we do. Cauli Power.
Cauliflower.
Cauli Power.
Cauliflower. That's like something He-Man would yell or something. Cauliflower.
Or something that's from
And Assault Castle Grayskull.
Indiana Jones. Was it like Kalima?
Oh, yeah, Temple of Doom.
Temple of Doom.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Okay, we also have their delicious enchiladas. I say that because that's what it says on the box, delicious enchiladas. It too has a chicken breast and cheese tortilla. We have two kinds. We have their chicken enchilada and their cheese enchilada. Their 2 cheese enchilada with red sauce and their chicken enchilada with tomatillo sauce. Tomatillo sauce? Am I butchering? Tomatillo. Yeah, I butchered that, didn't I? 20 grams of protein, 4 grams of carbs. Guilt-free, gluten-free, grain-free, right? Because the tortilla is not made of corn or flour. It's made with chicken without hormones or antibiotics.
Wow.
Good? I haven't tried it yet. Let me take
Amazing.
Give me
I
says Mr. Other Group over there.
I'm a large pizza lover, but I actually think the enchilada tastes better than the pizza does.
You know what? I'd have to agree with you. This enchilada, I just took a bite of the cheese one. No, which one is this?
That's the chicken one there.
This cheese
Oh,
one.
this has a green sauce. The chicken has a green chili sauce.
Yeah, it's good.
It is good.
Cheese one is outrageous.
Yeah, that's wow.
Well, Hen, come on. Feed the bear. I want to try it.
that one.
I did. Oh, you didn't get the chicken?
No, he did.
No, he had.
Oh,
He
okay.
was just
Oh,
like
you wanted
seconds.
seconds?
one
You
more,
wanted seconds,
yes.
you little beggar over
Still
there?
some pizza over here.
The guy doesn't talk. He's eating all the food.
That cheese one's real good.
Oh yeah, yeah. That
I can't
cheese
talk.
one
I'm
is-
being such a pig right now.
Holy moly!
The enchiladas are much better than the pizzas. The pizzas weren't bad. Don't get me
No,
wrong.
not at all.
As far as
Definitely
microwave
enchiladas
pizzas go, they're healthy. But these enchiladas were
Still
fabulous.
food.
The real good. So these are real good. It's a real good food company, and then the real good enchiladas and real good pizzas. Both good. So you can find them around town. We have them in our gym down there at Mid-American Martial Arts. I know Rexius Nutrition carries them as well.
Correct. Yep.
And some stores around town have them. But yeah, check it out. I'm sorry, I just swallowed right into the microphone. That's rude. Non-GMO, everything.
Wow.
That's why there's no broccoli on it. Because as we discussed last time,
Right,
broccoli
broccoli is
is
a
GMO.
is,
It is the rabbit. Okay.
So if you want the results from Nutrition Jeopardy, just quick.
That's good.
So.
Oh, who did win?
Sam came in third.
Did
place.
anybody score any points? That was horrible.
So Sam got a resounding 0.
Well, he didn't even chime in. I mean,
Yeah. So I didn't count the negatives, but Cam and I tied for first place with 1,300 points each.
yeah, but you guys were like negative
Nobody took
1,000.
second.
Nobody took second.
Fair enough. We'll call it a tie. We'll call it a tie. Everybody wins. Medals for everybody. We'll even give Sam a participation medal.
We shouldn't have let him try the
Participation.
enchilada. That should have been his
True
punishment.
statement. We'll starve him. Okay.
Thanks for playing.
Okay, everybody, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Treadmills and Tangents. Again, we'll be here every Saturday, 9 a.m., right here at 94.5 FM, 1420 a.m. on The Answer. We're your health and wellness show, Treadmills and Tangents. This is Coach signing off.
Tune in each Saturday morning with fun banter on what it takes to live a healthier, happier, and more vibrant life in the Big O. Treadmills and Tangents with Coach Aaron Cerrone and his army of wellness warriors.